Howdy y'all, I'm Lex Lives. I think it's time we play a little Minecraft. It's probably about all I'm gonna get to play today too. It's been one of those days. I'll have to put off my normal ARK episode till tomorrow, I guess. That's alright. Ain't no thing. So, the sequel to... No, not sequel. The add-on to XCOM 2 came out this week. And, so I decided... well, I love XCOM, so I decided to go ahead and grab that. Well, this is a problem. Looks like I need to get some torches down in here. No skeletons, please. And so I saw the new add-on to it came out this week, and so I went ahead and snagged that. And so then I started downloading it on, I want to say Monday, and it finished downloading on Wednesday because that's how slow my internet is. And it was like 60 gigabytes all told for the original XCOM 2 and the DLC, because they're not very compressed. That's one of those things that it's one of those things that irritates me about having video games on consoles. Is the PC, you know, usually their stuff is fairly small, 4 or 5 gigabytes maybe, or smaller, and then everything unpacks, right? Because the PC can handle it, and you know, it's got 18 tons of RAM to unpack that stuff and all that. Consoles, not so much, and so a lot of their stuff comes a little more uncompressed, and so their video games are like 60 gigabytes in size now, and so a lot of these games you get that are crossed over between multiple platforms, they sometimes don't compress the PC version, and so then I get these massive downloads that let's just go ahead and move this down here. In fact, let's throw that out, and let's do that. In fact, let's throw that out. Anyways, it took me a couple days to get it all downloaded, and so I started playing it last night. Last night? No, today's Friday. I started playing it Wednesday night for a little bit, and it's not a sequel like I thought to the original storyline. It's an addition to the original storyline, and so playing the add-on starts the whole campaign over with the additional stuff in it. And I guess the XCOM itself has that, and I wasn't aware of it because I'm like, well, if I gotta start over, then I might as well play XCOM 1 over again, right? And get the full experience, because XCOM 2 is sort of based off of XCOM 1. I don't think you need the one to play the other in any way, and the connection story-wise is pretty tiny. Sort of. And so it's not a big deal to play the one without having played the other. But, you know, I'm one of those guys that likes to that likes to play all the way through a series, and you know what? I see that it's totally not a full stack there. So, but yes, I started on XCOM 1 last night, and all I did was got really mad at it, and so today I had to start over. And I wasn't going to play, I was going to record, but today was a birthday party for the family, finally. My brother's birthday we celebrated today, even though his birthday was a couple of weeks ago. And that happened because they were supposed to come over and then decided not to at the last minute. I talked about that already. And so they finally came over today. Even though the same people who were sick, which was their excuse not to come over earlier, still have the exact same sick. So I don't know. I've got a little bit too. Although a lot of my throat issues today is because people have been talking to me all day, and I don't normally talk this much. In the videos, yes, of course, but you know, there's a difference between talking for the couple hours I might talk while recording videos and talking from the time I get up until, you know, everybody finally leaves. Yeah, so we did that today. It's like almost 11 o'clock at night, and this is way, way, way later than I prefer to record, but which is why I'm probably not going to do the other one. It's because by the time I would record the other one and then get the rendering and all that, you know, we're talking like 3 or 4 in the morning before videos get ready to upload. It takes a while, about an hour maybe to render, and it takes me about an hour and a half to record between 2 videos usually, because I'm never ending when I'm supposed to, and you know, it all adds up. Alright, I think that's probably enough of this for right now. We'll go take this and get it cooking, because I came down here to get some cobblestone for stone purposes. Yeah, and then I talked before about my nieces and our attempts to watch our show, and so I caught them before they left tonight and let them know that I wouldn't be doing that anymore. And if they wanted to come over and watch the show, I would like to do that, but they have to be responsible for it now, because I'm not going through the hassle of dealing with their parents anymore. I'm tired of getting an agreement and then being told they can't because of reasons, and then later finding out that the reasons weren't true, as I did tonight once again. I was told they weren't able to come over because they were going to be too busy with stuff last week, and they told me today that they actually sat around and did nothing for the days they were supposed to come over. They literally didn't leave the house. They didn't do anything. Other members of the family did, but this wasn't involving other members of the family, so I don't know what the point was of saying they were too busy to come hang out with me. So I am, like I said, told them I was done. I was done with the whole thing. They want to come over, fine, but they have to be in charge of it now, because I'm done. So they said they were going to try to set things up so they could come over at Thanksgiving break. So we'll see. I thought I heard something moving around in here. Pigman. has a good supply of stewing ahead of you there. Pigman. Yeah, so... Yeah, I've been playing a lot of XCOM. Oh, I got so mad. So mad. I thought about making videos of it because I did Xenonauts, which is a similar kind of game. But I don't think I want to stretch out the time I play it that long. And if I wasn't planning on doing Dishonored, Death of the Outsider when it comes out, I probably would have done those now. But yeah, since I'm going to be doing Death of the Dishonor or Death of the Outsider, I figure I don't really have the time at the moment. Yeah, I think that works okay. Oh, I forgot I was going to build that thing today, wasn't I? I just remembered. That we talked about the support for the wall over here, and I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Okay, so I think this has got to go. I think this needs to do this. And so, whoa. Yeah, XCOM is pretty fun if you like squad-based turn-based strategies. Turn-based squad strategies. I don't know how to say what it is, but you know, you got your group of soldiers, and each one takes its individual turn, and the enemy takes their individual turn. You know, and I'm a pretty huge fan of said games. Man, I totally have more of this than I needed. I have to figure out what I'm going to do here for this bridge. Nope, little hiccup there. I just ate my dinner, I guess. I was up till like 5 a.m. this morning, and so when I went to bed, I didn't get up till like 12:30, and so by the time I was done getting ready, shaving, showering, that kind of stuff for the party, I decided that it was too close to said party to bother with eating, and so I didn't eat breakfast until the party, which was at like 6:30, and so I just scarfed a couple of burritos, I guess. That's what we had for dinner, was tacos, nachos, burritos. One of my favorite things is to take the burritos. Did I do this wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, I didn't. This is wrong, though. This whole section right here needs to be replaced. So I take the taco meat, and put it in a taco shell. And are you shocked? And then I take the I take cheese. I hope you're not too shocked by what I'm doing here. I take cheese and I place it on the taco meat, and then I wrap that up just with cheese and meat, and then I cook it in the microwave until the cheese is all melted. And it's like my favorite thing to do with taco leftovers. I love just cheese and meat burritos. I don't know why, but I do. There's just something about melted cheese that I just love. It is like the tastiest thing. Which I guess if you don't eat cheese, you know, you don't like that. But for me, I love melted cheese. Shredded cheddar is what I had tonight. We usually have a Mexican blend, it's called. I think it's Mexican blend of yellow and white cheese, but today we didn't. It was just cheddar and white queso, and the other fixings like black beans and refried beans and lettuce and tomatoes and sour cream, and pretty sure somebody put cucumbers on their taco, which is a little weird to me, but I'm not a fan of tacos anyways, you know. I don't like the crunchy shells. Eat all the crunchy shells you want. It's just not my thing. I would like I guess I need to make more cement. I'm just going to go ahead and unload stuffs in my decoration chests here. Why don't you hang out up here? And let's go hunting for good old gravel. Because gravel is the number one... Dang it. You know, I totally hit the button to stop myself from falling, and then in my head I thought, no, it's not shift, it's control. But no, it is shift. Derp. But, yeah, so I had to start over today anyways on XCOM. And... 1, not 2. 1. I'll tell you what's really weird about XCOM 2. Not XCOM 2, but XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. That's what I got this week. War of the Chosen. And beyond the fact that it's not an actual sequel to the XCOM 2 game, but in addition to the main campaign, like you play the main campaign over, and then there are additional missions within the main campaign that tie into the original storyline, that give you access to new characters and new abilities and new weapons and stuff like that. I find that's kind of a weird thing to do, because I already played through the main campaign. Why can't I just have a new campaign? I mean, I did enjoy it a lot, so it doesn't hurt my feelings to play through it again. But so I went back to XCOM 1. I'm sorry, I got off my story here, but I went back to XCOM 1, and I didn't do that with XCOM 1. I owned the add-on DLC, but I thought it was something else, and so I guess I never played it. And or I bought it, and by the time it came out, I didn't realize it had come out. And either way, it's the same thing. You play back through the original campaign, only with additional missions and abilities and stuff. So that's a little weird for a style of DLC. But what was weird to me was, so I'm sitting there, and you know, it takes me 3 days to download XCOM 2 because my internet's so terrible. And so it finally gets downloaded, and I load it up, and it gives you the option: do you want to play, the original XCOM 2? Do you want to play, uh, the new expansion XCOM 2? I'm like, well, I want to play the expansion XCOM 2, and so it starts up and it's got a video, and I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure this is new, but this seemed. Oh no! I started up and all that was available to me was new game, and so I click new game, and I'm like, okay, this like I didn't recognize the startup video, but the content of the startup video seemed to be discussing events that I already did at the start of XCOM 2. And so I was like, okay, alright. I'm like, maybe I accidentally deleted my saved game. This still isn't the weird thing about XCOM 2 I want to tell you about. So it gets started up, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't recognize this story. I'm like, but man, that character's voice seems really familiar to me. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that is. Now, I'm a huge fan of sci-fi, and when I was a kid, I watched Star Trek: The Next Generation, religiously. Whenever it was on, I would watch it. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that is Counselor Troy from Star Trek: Next Generation. I'm like, I could be wrong, but it sure sounds like her. And she does voiceover work, so it wouldn't be that unusual for her to be doing some voiceover work. And so then it gets weirder, because then the game starts going, and I'm playing some missions, and they're just the same old normal starting the game tutorial, starting the game missions. I'm like, yeah, I must have to play through this to get to the new missions. I didn't know. I didn't play the first game's style like this, so I had no idea. But so I'm playing it, and then they introduced me to a new character, and I'm like, well, that seems funny, because that is the guy who plays Riker on Star Trek: The Next Generation. And I'm like, that's funny that they've done voice work together before. They were the voice of what was his name, Xander and Demora. Man, I'm terrible with names. Those probably aren't their names, but they were something like that. And Gargoyles, where they worked together, and so, it's not unheard of that they work together as voice actors. And then I get to the third new character they introduce, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's Worf from Star Trek: The Next Generation. And I'm like, now I've got to look. Now I've got to look. There are 6 or 7 people from Star Trek: The Next Generation out of like 18 voices in this expansion who are from Star Trek: The Next Generation. That's crazy to me. It's like a Star Trek: Next Generation reunion on this game. That's crazy. But yeah, so that's been my last couple of days of avoiding anything important. And then today was birthday party, and I knew that was coming. It wasn't a shock or anything. I guess I could have prepped a little better than I did for it. Well, I also didn't expect it to last as long as it did. Usually they're either here all day, or they come over late and then they're gone as soon as they possibly can be. And so I was expecting a gone as soon as they possibly can be. And But no, the we're too busy to do anything. People decided to go camping this weekend, and they're going camping for the next 4 days. And so they're leaving in the morning, and so they had nothing to do because they've already got everything packed up to go. And so they decided just to hang out here until shortly before I started recording. And so yeah, where's my bucket of water? That was my day. It was kind of odd. We talked about podcasts after dinner, and mostly because my brother wanted to talk about the podcast he'd been listening to. He's really into tech stuff, but not like the same tech stuff I'm interested in. He's really into renewable energy at the moment, and so he just comes here when he comes here and talks and talks and talks about renewable energy, which is fine, I guess. I know some about it because I jokingly say that I know a little bit about everything. I don't know everything about anything, but I know a little bit about everything. And so I know enough to follow along on the conversation usually. But he's always wanting me to look at videos and TED Talks and wanting me to write down the podcast he's listening to so I can listen to the podcast about renewable energy. And I'm like, yeah, it's not really my thing, man. Like, you wanna listen to a podcast? You know, I like these true crime podcasts. You want to listen to those? We could talk about true crime. Or here's a D&D podcast I listen to. You want to listen to that? We can talk about D&D, but I don't really, or something else. But I don't really want to talk about solar panels. I mean, not that we can't have a conversation about solar panels, but I don't want to listen to a podcast about solar panels. How much information can you give me about solar panels? I mean, they exist. They suck up the sun. They make electricity. How much more information do I need? Like, I kind of know how they're applied. I kind of know how some of the advancements that have happened lately, but it still doesn't mean I want to listen to a 3-hour podcast about solar panels. Uh, but yeah, it was I don't know. And then this one cracks me up. He talked about his son, my nephew, is going to be taking computer classes in high school, and how if he does good in the computer classes, he can go on to take his A plus certification, and which is if you don't know, is a computer certification for computer technicians, and it's fairly difficult to obtain. Not extremely difficult, but it has like a 40% failure rate. So only 60% of people that attempt it pass, which is, makes it a little more difficult than average. But oh man, I was gonna say I'm apparently out of sand too. I feel like I shoved sand somewhere though, and I'm gonna keep looking for that. Is that sand? Nope, that's sandstone. There you are. Oh, and there's some more gravel. And then I guess I need to know what color this is before I go and make a bunch of concrete of the wrong color. And so, yeah, so we talked a little bit about podcasts that I listen to and the podcasts he listens to. I think this is just gray. Yep, just gray. So Was this just an oddball sticking out here? Guess so. Oh, squids! I need more black. Somewhere the black. No squids. Alright, well, maybe that's something I'll have to work on next time. Yeah, so I'm disappointed, man. Where are the squids? That's all I needed was a little bit of squid, and then I'd be good to go. Squid, squid, squid. Yeah, I made that thing to get squids, and it doesn't work well. There's too much water around. But I also am not finding squids in the water itself, which is a shame. There's some. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out this month that I'm interested in game-wise. I know I pre-ordered Destiny 2 because a bunch of my friends play it and family members play it. Although, you know, I think I pre-ordered it and everyone else is like, yeah, we're gonna be a little bit before we can get it. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not canceling my pre-order now. So whether you play it or not, I guess I don't care, because usually they got pretty good single-player storyline. I enjoyed. Not everybody likes it, but I enjoy the Destiny game. So I got that pre-ordered. I bought the Humble Bundle, Jumbo Humble Bundle. So that had a couple of things in it I wanted to check out. Verdun and Vermintide and... what's that river one? River Fire, Fire and Water or something? I forget what it's called. Looked like it might be fun to check out. I see Knack 2 is coming out. I had the first Knack for my PS4. I probably won't get the second one. I'm sure somebody here will get it, but you know, it's kind of a kid's game. That's not what I mean. It's not on the computer. Let's put it that way. It's not on the computer. I, for the most part, just play games on my PC, and I don't foresee me shelling out the bucks for a adventure game on my console. Alright, well, I think this is probably where I'm going to call it. So, click like if you like, subscribe, be sure and catch the next one, and I will talk to you later.